This is gonna suck, ain't it? We're gonna be here for a bit. Anyway, welcome to It's Way Too Quiet. I have solved the problem. I've remedied the issue. Welcome to the Monster Marathon on epic difficulty. And a new song, apparently. I Wanna Die. Let's get straight up on into it, shall we? I have no idea what to expect here, other than the fact that there are a lot of dudes, and they're very obnoxious. So we're gonna go on this into a very methodical and concise effort, just to make sure these dudes fuck off and don't kick my ass too hard now. So, we may be here for a bit. Who really knows? It's just gonna take a little bit of time and a lot of bit of effort to really get where we want to be going. So enjoy your stay, because we're not gonna have the most fun time ever. I'm sorry, but having fun is just not on the menu when it comes to mooks, It's hallway fights, but the whole episode. Oh, that's my favorite. It's a quality thing, you know? It's some good assurance right there. Luckily, this is the only time we have to do this, but it must be done, and so it shall. At least it's a good song. It best be a rather long song, so as we do not get burned out effectively just like instantly. But I like it. This is actually one of the better songs in the OST, it seems. It's trancey, but it's new. And really, that's the most determining factor of this. It's new, and I love it. And so therefore, it checks out. Gets a yes from me. Which one is harder? Can I stun you? No. I mean, I can wet the boss, I guess. He's not even a boss. I can wet the guy, I guess. It doesn't really matter all that much, but I can, I suppose. Also, maybe coming into this with a wind sword, not the best idea. But unfortunately, that's just too damn bad. I have the wind sword because it gives me free haste randomly. So, you get to deal with it. And now we just kind of get to hit him. At the end of the day, there's just a lot of violence that needs to come out of my end for us to deal with this in a reasonable amount of time. So we'll get there. You just gotta enjoy the sights a little bit. This isn't a race. This is a marathon. That's why it's called the Faux Marathon, but I called it the Monster Marathon because there's that tiny bit of alliteration and it makes me feel good on the inside. Stop pulling out my teammates, damn it. Go get your popcorn, because, again, we're gonna be here for a bit. We do it as we do, and that's all I can really say. I, gotta say, I'm infinitely disappointed at the fact that this hammer does not make the really satisfying hammer noises. They're just not doing it right, you know? They just ain't got it. Why is Matt's attack so low? This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. This must be resolved immediately. Do not disable Matt either. I kind of need his shit to be off of cooldown, preferably. And there's a free double haste. That's why we have Lanson, too. That's another reason why he's a fun human being. What are you weak to, you stupid son of a bitch? Come here, fucker. Eat rock. Actually, the Monster Marathon, I believe it... No, wait, no, it was endless. So, yeah, this is epic difficulty, damn. I wanted to believe just a second that maybe I could have some hope, but no. I thought it, just like the endless mode, would set it to hard difficulty rather than epic. Because we've played this whole game through on Epic, and really I would like the chance to get a breath of fresh air a chance to enjoy myself. But unfortunately, it's not always the case. Sometimes these things, they take time. We do not have control. Ow. Another free haste. You see, this is why Lance is here. This is his primary function. And he's succeeding very much so at it. It's a very good time. What do we wish to do to you? I guess I'll give him accuracy, because, he's running away. None of this really matters, you stupid piece of shit. Get out of here, you fucking kids. And just like that, we're 3 waves down. We're just about a 30th of the way through. Wait, no, it's 33. Shit. Or about a 10th of the way through. I wanted it to be like that 3 alliteration. We're getting so much free damn haste. I just gotta send in fucking Natalie, and then we'll just start getting Viking. She has the haste headgear on. Send that in. This will resolve this problem right quick, real fast, huh? We're gonna see a couple enemies I don't actually have caught for some reason. The reason is because I keep throwing my enemies into my items. That is actually just a reason. I don't know why I said who knows the reason. And there it is. Just right in front of your face. I don't need to lie to my audience. They all know. Supposedly. It's not like I expected anyone to be paying attention. I didn't expect anyone to do research on this shit. It's also fun to know that, yeah, even the, like, unique enemies from bosses, like this earthquake bomb, yeah, that's here too. Okay. Everyone's here. Never ask for me anything ever again. You damned son of a bitch. You're a madman, Rozak. God. Look what you have done. You see not for which your sin is made manifest. Just know the blood and turmoil is on your hands. Yeah, again, what a good way. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Unlike the other episodes of this, I'm not gonna be able to withstand the... let's call them trials that this will be able to put on me and my commentary. Or in other words, in a more eloquent and actual straightforward way of saying that, my commentary is gonna run dry rather fast. So, maybe just enjoy this passively. Don't expect me to be comedy gold McMahon over here. And don't expect me to play optimally, because I just misclicked. Quality. That's that taste you come here for. That's your favorite dish on the menu. Watch me. Oh, God, kids. Avert your eyes. Ah, Jesus. But, yeah. Was it going on about something about food? I don't know, man. I was doing like a food thing, like with words. I don't know. It fell through right quick. It's now lost in the annals of my mind. In the annals of my mind. Oh yeah, I'm a mature adult. I find that hilarious. At least these fights are randomized. You know what? Credit where credit's due. These seem to be randomized in some regard, and that's at least interesting. At least in some regard. Hopefully. Even if it's not like random, there's a lot of variety in the methods of murder we're gonna have to implement to take care of our ravenous and endless, unceasing, unerring foes. We're in for a wild ride today. And then another free haste. The wild ride continues. Hit him with a sword. Good job. And now hit him with another sword. Oh wait, no, shit, that's a hammer. Hit him with a hammer. There we go. Sorry for lying to you all. I was misinformed. I didn't mean to spread misinformation, and I apologize. Here's a heartfelt apology for being a stupid son of a bug. Ah, shit. I wanted to censor myself, but I didn't have a good way of not saying bitch, but also started with B. You see, this is what happens when you start talking and don't have an end goal in mind. You just kinda loiter around for a few times until the cops have to show up and move and forcibly make you vacate the premises. That's what happened with that conversation. The end showed up and I was not prepared for it. I was not mentally or physically, spiritually, at all, in any regards, prepared. You got a fucking amethyst golem and a bunch of dickheads. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about my olden days way of handling more annoying fights. You just swap in Anna, and now we don't have to fight an amethyst golem. This is all she's going to be doing, is forcibly removing this man from the fight, whether he consents or not. It is just too damned bad otherwise. But this is happening. You do not have a say, Mr. Golem. You shall die, and you shall enjoy it. Give me more protections, yes. And then you, give me more protections, yes. Very good, nice. And then you just shoot them with a fucking gun until they stop living. And just like that, we're the victor of this match. Alright, fuck off, you golem bastard. Now is the time for buffing and regenerating and all that good shit. You know? Don't you ooh mean? No shit, I don't mean ooh. I mean like the ooh. Okay, maybe don't do that. Maybe stop being an idiot on camera. I meant that it's like the music. Alright, if I'll stop being retarded for like 2 seconds of my life. Alright, you golem bastards. You just gotta slowly grind them down. We're just about we're effectively a sixth of the way there. Let's just not count those final 3 and make it an even 30. And then that's how those numbers work a lot better for us, It's ice, right? Yeah, it's ice, so most assuredly. Boop. And boop. Not dead, but that's fine. We're still prepping anyway. At the end of the day, none of this really matters. Because he's dead. We're actually just about a fifth of the way there. Because 6 times 5 is 32, and there's 33, so, I mean, yeah. We're right on that razor's edge for being a fifth of the way through this. Alright, 13 minutes in, ho ho ho. Maybe this won't take as long as I assume and hope, but knowing how these went in the previous games, no, the longest fights are going to be near the end, so this is still probably going to take a good damned hour. I gotta say, the one thing that makes this fight really feel good is just really min-maxing out on just how much free haste I can give Matt. He has spent more turns with haste than he has without. Just because Lance's haste provider can randomly haste him on top of everything else. Boom. Get out of here, you little shit. I should not have taken that damage. Okay, conceptually taken that damage. Ooh. Alright, this is another one of those Anna fights. Yeah, let's just lock this one down. Let's preemptive this one, because that's not a good answer. This is not at all what we want to be seeing. I just got the pew-pew shot of me. Ah, shit. He's trying to shoot at me with a gun, like a laser gun. Is the future. There's also apparently a lightning gun, which, wow, nice job, really good choice. You sure got me there, kiddo. Congratulations. Now your fishy friend is dead. Your fishy friend is now full of fishy fucked. Ow. Damn, how much does No Legs regenerate? Oh, that was an electric bomb. Okay. Now, that wasn't a real bomb. That was one of those fake bombs that does electric damage. Despite the fact that an explosion, you know, made a big old, like, fiery, like, kabloom. No, that did electric damage. That's what you get for fucking assuming. Jeez, let me look at you. Sensitive prick. You see, that was a net bomb. Gotta say, I really appreciate the variety in this man's arsenal. It's got a lot under the hood. How's it going, IKEA? How's life? Welcome to arguably there's no arguing. The most tedious episode in the entire experience. How's life treating you? Because currently it's treating you better than I, because here I am. We're already a fifth of the way through, though. Did I miss anything? No. This is all we're doing. It's all we've done today. It's all that will ever happen. The Monster Marathon never ends. You'll be here forever. One cannot escape your sin. The worst part of this game are the junk hallway fights, and here I am, resigned to an eternal hell of random dickheads. It's a fun time. I'd highly recommend it. Enjoy your stay, if I do say so myself. Right now, we're currently kicking the shit out of everyone who rears his face. No, this is the first one. I've been doing them in order. This is this stream, unfortunately. As much as I hate to say that, this is what we're doing right now. Because I upload these to YouTube, I like to keep them concise and into their own segmented videos for anyone who wants to see one specific section. And typically, I only stream for 2 hours anyway, and most of this premium content takes about an hour to an hour and a half anyway, so it's not that big of a stretch for me to split these up a bit more, but yeah. We're not going to be tackling those for right now. This one's probably going to... Okay, it's going to be one of the shorter ones, hopefully. Well, maybe not, actually. Considering the fact that all the other bosses were only trying to kill instead of just catch. We are on epic difficulty, so it still means it's just a big old gaggle of fuck. I would not recommend any of this for anyone. And also, I got 600 chests by... I know I had gotten it before I beat the final boss, I think. I don't remember, though. I know I have every single medal in the game except for the make each of your teammates surrender during, like, when you unlock them, and the beat these 4 marathons. That's all I have left. The rest of them are all done. So once we're done with this, we're pretty much set, repped, and ready to go for completion's sake. It's a fun time. Give me like 2 seconds, and we gotta swap him, and then we gotta swap him in because we're dying, and we must solve this issue. And just like that, we're nice and healthy. Oh, ain't that convenient? Hit him with a goddamn missile. Again, unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any way of me really spicing up this one. At least from a gameplay standpoint, this is by far the most basic of all of the bonus episodes. Because at least with the other ones, I was trying new things, either going through dungeons or facing new bosses or triumphing over challenges innumerable. But this time, No, we just have the same shit we've been doing every episode through the main playthrough, except there's no new things to see. So unfortunately, here we are. I mean, we're gonna get it done, and that's what's important. You get it done, you get it on camera, and then there you go. Now I never have to do it again. At least on epic difficulty. At least on epic difficulty. I mean, yeah, the game can like to spice things up as much as it wants, but... Oh, I've never been the biggest fan of monster marathons in these kind of games. Just, like, inherently. They're never my favorite part of them. Typically in a game like this, where it's a very traditional RPG, like, if I was playing through this on normal difficulty, it would be too easy for it to be engaging for me. And if I'm on this difficulty, fights take too long for it to be engaging for me. So, I mean, like, maybe hard's a solid medium, but I don't know. I have no idea, really. We're also going to have to tackle a 30 wave of Endless, but at least in that one, it's scaling it back down to hard. So that one's going to be more of a victory lap than anything, like, actual. It's why it's like if you're ever going to have something like a monster marathon, like it's a final challenge in the game. That's honestly one of the biggest problems this game's had, because it's relied so heavily on the wave mechanic of shoving many enemies at you, rather than compounding the difficulty into a single enemy. This monster marathon doesn't get anything new across. And inclusion with the, like, integration of this whole, like, cooldown system rather than a mana system, or SP or MP or whatever you want to call it. There's not even the war of attrition thing going on. It's not a slowly you're being grinded down over time, and it's how long can you last. With a cooldown system, you can last in every fight forever, so this is not a challenge, even now. And sure, I may get luck-sacked at some point, or I may make a bad decision and die, but that's more on my end, rather than the game's end being a genuine difficulty spike in a war of attrition style. I guess the closest equivalent I could really say would be something like, the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, the Pit of 100 Trials in that game. Where in that game, not only is it a long slog where you have to manage your MP, your HP, like, your items, and all that kind of garbage. You have to mitigate damage, because in that game, there's the action commands. So if you're physically good at the game, you can mitigate some of the damage you're taking, meaning you can go further earlier on. And you can make all of your items and resources go further. What options do you take into the fight? And even on top of that, there's unique enemies and a unique boss at the end of it all. But in this one, it's just, hey, here's every enemy in the game. Except, there's nothing to actively fight for. There's no... You're not fighting the systems of the game, you're just fighting the enemies again. And as much as I do bitch about this game, I don't like doing that. I do much enjoy these games, but I feel it's important to know when someone does something wrong. I'm much more of a man who likes to give out a lot of constructive and receive a lot of constructive criticism, just because you'll never know when you're doing something wrong until you're told, which is why I've been overwhelmingly negative throughout this, despite the fact that, well, I don't know if I like this more than 4. I think they're about the same. Because this game wasn't really a step up in quality. It was a step to the side in quality, I feel. It fell into the same pitfalls the fourth one did. Which is why that's why I'm a little bit more harsh this time through. And sure, I definitely had my misgivings in 4. Of course I did, because they're the same misgivings I'm having now. But at least in that one, I was doing it as more of like a first impression. And there's like a, hey, you know what, here's what to do and to fix in the next one. But then, such changes never came about, and here we are. Also, a nitpicky thing, because bitching is apparently my job now, I liked Battle Mountain more than this area. I liked, well, in this area you technically got 4 dungeons, but I don't know. I like the whole proponent of Battle Mountain. You're coming back to an area throughout the course of a game and slowly chipping away at it. Or alternatively, if you come back at the end of the game, you're coming in and you're finally going through a final full slog of boss after boss, of fight after fight. Where in this game, they're each in their own little segmented areas. I guess that one's more of a person-to-person kind of thing, you know? It's not really a definitive good or bad thing, so I guess I'll just file that under thing and say my personal preferences. That sense of satisfaction you get off of Battle Mountain, rather than each compartmentalized fights. But then again, that's just me, like I said. I have now like lost all of my steam. I've said my piece, and now here I am, just like, oh, we're just about a third of the way through, so that's gonna be fun. God damn it! Stop being weak to fucking holy. Lance can't do holy. You dastard. Well, he's effectively dead anyway, so... Oh, shit. Okay, well, bye. Never mind. He's more or less been effectively dead. Oh, god damn it. Now I have to be aggressive. Ay, ay, ay. But if I'm to get back to my more actually analytical part about this, it's like, this is the thing I've been doing most of my life. RPGs have always been the genre I've personally excelled at and felt particularly impassioned about, and I've played so many of them so many times throughout my 21 years of existence. It's like, I kind of at least have a decent gleam for my personal preferences and where, like, pitfalls commonly rely. And I understand this is made by one game, so I'm not holding that against him too much. But again, I feel it's important to make note and see where there's improvements. He's very clearly going for an homage style, like, hey, this is very similar to those ancient RPGs, the old Final Fantasies, the Dragon Quests, the ones that everyone loved. And I'm like, I love those games too, but you have to advance the system, not just sidestep their same problems. Or, even worse off, crash headfirst into the same brick walls that they had. Also, I kill him, so that's just a damn shame, but do not worry. I shall not cease talking unless you, well, want me to stop talking, but in that case, go fuck yourself. But that's besides the point. It's going on YouTube anyway, so it's not like I have any incentive to stop talking, hey. And just like that, we're a third of the way through. Oh, hey, Viking Monolith, how's it go? Oh, you guys are just getting another turn? Okay. Now, that's a complaint I had a lot more in 4. Whereas they had really honestly, they had harder, like, individualized fights in 4. 4 had the problem of some of those enemies were genuinely threatening, but they still had the wave system. So what you would do is you'd randomly have enemies die or kill themselves or whatever, some such, to a passive or, like, burn effect. So the next wave would come in and then immediately act. And before you could even see to think about conceivably trying to defend yourself, you already gotten a full party wipe and it's game over. Because I guess it's just like there's this like tightrope we're walking here. It's like, do we make the individualized enemies hard and do we put them in a few waves, or do we put a bunch of weak enemies in a lot of waves? Unfortunately, 4 went for the decently challenging enemies, at least late into the game, into a lot of waves, making them a very, very dangerous minefield that is almost impossible to traverse because you can't see what's ahead. You must, like, step blindly and hope for the best. Whereas in this game, they've toned down the individualized enemy difficulty, but now it's become more of a slog than an actual triumph. I remember a couple times in 4 when I was near the end of the game, and even one happened in the, like, Monster Marathon. I was coasting just fine, being methodical, being slow, being careful. And then all of a sudden I get sideswiped by, like, a full team of dudes who suicide themselves, I believe, or some such. I don't remember the specifics. It's been a little while. But effectively, it was like a dude suicided himself. And in the next wave, there was like some monoliths or dragons or some shit. And it's just like, okay, I guess I'm dead now. It's not the most fun situation to be in. being sidelined by something you couldn't have seen coming unless you preemptively prepared. And there's almost so much preemption you can make in a gauntlet of attrition, you know? If I had to really say a way to fix it, because of course I'm not just going to spend this episode bitching without a way to solve it, of course, I was gonna say, give me the individualized challenge. I am on epic difficulty, so enemies should be a little bit meaty, but keep the meaty enemies to a minimum. The best way to do it is to have both the enemies and the player die very fast. So that way, it's a constant, heated action where every single fight is a fight and a struggle for success. Where if you play on easier difficulties, it starts becoming a game of how well you can manage taking them down. Or in the harder difficulties, it becomes an ordeal just to survive. And with a playstyle like mine of maximizing my survivability, that kind of mental chess match between me and the AI is exactly what I'm asking for. And that's what we'd like to see. It's fine to have multiple waves of enemies if that's like the whole gimmick or something, but I'm just saying. When the whole game is based around it, it grows a little bit tiresome when there's never anything truly threatening. I guess it also falls into the pitfall of I am much more experienced than the most casual of just... Oh yeah, no. I'm just trying to talk about the baseline fights. If we're talking about something positive, holy shit, some of the music in this game, oh my god, is it godly. I just wish I could actually find most of it on YouTube, as I wanted to find fucking Lance's theme for the longest time. And I love it. But I couldn't, so... Actually, when I was digging for it, I went to Ferna's channel and I was checking out some of the music I had passed up because I was subscribed to her. Also, I was going on, before I continue with that point, there's another point I was going off on about before you came back and chimed that in, and it's gone. I immediately forgot about it when you started talking about the amazing-ass music. Now, oh yeah, finishing the point. Like, I'm subscribed to Ferna, but I typically didn't check out a lot of her individualized tracks, mainly just because YouTube is such a shit sometimes and doesn't tell you when they upload, and a lot of the time I'm subscribed to more than 310 people. There are a lot of things to watch. And so I went back to her channel, I just watched the most recent thing, like saying, hey, you know, some of these songs are probably going to be in the most recent game. Let's just check it out, see what it is. And then it was the glitch fight against Mechanical Condemnation. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because I haven't checked again. I accidentally stumbled across the this boss fights theme. I'm like, it's called like Dusk, but it's like entirely glitchy. The only thing you can actually glean from it is the term Dusk in the first word, and I just call it Dusk. Also, Mechanical Condemnation. Holy shit, that's a good song. And then so is Dusk. Dusk's fucking amazing. But I accidentally stumbled upon... Oh, hey, we even have the... Speaking of the glitches, hey, here we are. I mean, this isn't personally my style as much. I mean, I listen to everything. I'll listen to a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm picky amidst those genres, but I dabble in a bit of everything, and... Some of the songs in this game, like this one's a good blend of a bit of everything throughout the game, which is why I like this song in particular. This song kind of just has, like, almost a bit of everything in it throughout the game, because we're fighting every enemy. It only makes sense. But some of the songs in this game are just fucking bangers. Just dish me that shit all day long. Because normally I've been a fan of the music, but never so much of a fan as to be like, hey, all right, I'm going to go out and listen to this and put this on my MP3 player. But you bet you're... Actually, wait, no. One song from 4 I distinctly remember, which is the Godcat song. But before the final boss, like when you're fighting them in those like hallway fights, where they're like a survive fights before the boss like leaves when you're like progressing through the story, that song. Don't remember what it's called. That one. Also, almost every single final boss song. Like Akron's theme, that one is one I distinctly remember. Holy shit. We're talking bangers. We're listening to the banger and stuff them all. Oh, actually, I don't know if you know IKEA, because you're still going through this. I don't know if, because honestly, if I'm going to be entirely honest, I'm super terrible with remembering who's told me what about this game. And I don't know if you're one of the people who've been, like, dispensing. Yeah, TPF Trans, that's the one. That is exactly the one I was thinking of. You're totally right on the money. I don't remember if you're the one who told me this and you'd know about this, but fucking, they said there was Akron and Godcat in this game, and I mean, if you want to be the semantic police, there's Godcat we fought earlier, and I thought that was the joke. Honestly, by the description of it being a Super Saiyan, I thought we were gonna fucking refight Goku or some shit. Like from Epic Battle Fantasy 1, and I was infinitely hyped for that. So honestly, that is one of the biggest letdowns of this game, and I know we can't. But I mean, come on, man. You can't hype me up with a name like that and expect me to not be some kind of disappointed. But they've also name-dropped Godcat and Akron and said they played a more minor role in this game. Where the fuck are they? I have not seen Akron. At all. He's nowhere. His son of a bitch is avoiding me, and I will not accept this. He's not answering my calls. He's also the best boss in the entire series, at least, like, conceptually. Maybe that's me being nostalgic, but they all have their own, like, benefits. But if we're talking straight final bosses, I think, honestly, this game has the weakest one. If we're talking just the final boss, I think this one has the weakest one. Cosmic Gigalith, cool. And then the Devourer is like, he's just a big fucking beholder. This isn't anything unique. Yeah, sure, he's scary as fuck, and he's arguably the best fight in the entire series, but if I'm talking about just straight-up design, lore, build-up, satisfaction, he ain't got nothing to compare. Because both Godcat, hell, Lance, hell, back in 2, yeah, Lance, and Akron, all of those were built up. You knew what you were fighting towards. Or at least in Godcats, you were trying to prevent it, and then when it did happen, you're like, oh Christ, now it's go time. But in this one, you just enter the final area, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is what we're fighting now. And even then, it's not the most exciting design. Akron was a giant demon bound in chains and blinded, but you broke him out, and now he's forcefully manifested himself via your power. Really cool. Godcat is literally a floating deity who uses the creator and the destroyer of all things to fight you off because they can't be bothered to do it themselves. Damn cool design. They got a big ass fucking space rock. I mean, honestly, the Cosmic Gigalith was the cooler of the two designs. I'm not gonna diss the sick ass fucking space rock, but I don't know, man. The Devourer he just showed up and he's like, hey guys, we'll be here too, guys. Hey. Hello, I am also a part. Hello, yes, I am also final boss. And if we're even talking like the one I haven't mentioned, Goku from the first game, at least with him, he was a reoccurring joke in some of Matt's earliest, like, Flash animations, and that's why he came into that game and was so fucked up looking. Because, yeah, like, if you don't know, because I followed Matt, and I was there during the Newgrounds days, which is why I loved the series so much. But way back in the day when he was just an animator, and he just made super simple, like, he made, like, one game before Epic Battle Fantasy 1 that was, like, the thing. Goku occasionally appeared in some of his ancient, like, actual Final Fantasy-inspired animations as some fucking god-tier son of a bitch who just slapped the main character and just said, "What's up, bitch?" But then died at the end, like, accidentally or through other some dumb means. And each time he came back, he was more grotesquely deformed because he's being forcefully resurrected. And by the time he appears in Epic Battle Fantasy 1, he's been resurrected, I think, 1 or 2 times before then. So that's why he has like a bunch of IOUs taped to him, because that's how many times he supposedly died. And that's why he's Zombie Goku. And he throws fucking spirit bombs, and that's sick as shit. Like, that one was a return to form. Lance was a new one. I mean, okay, Lance would probably also be one of the weakest, but at least he had some build-up, you know? Ho ho ho. I guess another problem is I do not even remember the final boss theme of this game. That thing's gone. I probably listened to it for... I think it was more like atmospheric. Like, we're doubling this background of music. Like, Akron's the best. I don't remember any music from 1 and 2. Actually, yes, I do. It was all stolen from things. That's right. That's because they didn't compose their own music. I remember there was, like, brawl music throughout a lot of it. Good choice. Honestly, one of the best OSTs in any of the games. But, then again, I guess music's not really like the Blaze of Iris. No, it's not the fact that I don't know its name. It's just that I don't remember the... Oh, shit. You killed the... Oh, there he goes. It's just that I don't remember it. I guess that's the biggest sin you can ever commit when you're trying to be like a final boss, is being forgettable. It's just like he showed up and left. I mean, I'm going to remember him just because he was the hardest fight in the entire series, debatably. The only other ones I could think about would be the fucking Pyro Hydra from 3. God damn it. Holy shit, the Pyro Hydra. He didn't take as long for me to beat on him, but... Oh, my anger was infinite back in those days. I guess it's less so anger and more mild irritation, but the point stands. We didn't have all of our fancy, like, technology nowadays. We didn't have a good solution to that. No. Back in the Epic Battle Fantasy 3 days, all you had was your own spit and glory. And so you had to do it like a man. You just had to win the fight. You just gotta do it. And the Pyro Hydra was a bastard. Fuck you. Oh, shit, what's their names? SARS, Abyss, and Blaze. Those names are burned into me forever nowadays. I shall never forgive yo for your sins. Where's my gangster dragon now? They got all the elements. What's the next one? Where's the gangster one? And what are you weak to? I need to actually start paying attention. This is a very slow fight. I get... Alright, time to go back to bitching. Fucking, if I had to ever bring up, like, my shit about, like, this game being unengaging, this is it. I have not paid attention to anything going on screen for the last, like, probably 10 minutes. Now, since you showed up, IKEA, it's been mainly focused on talking and interacting with what you're saying rather than interacting with the game. And I guess it's not actually necessarily a bad thing. It means I can interact with my fucking like, audience. I can talk, but I don't know, whatever, man. That's not necessarily the worst thing. I mean, that's actually, you know what? Let me take that back. In all honesty, that's probably more of a good thing than anything. If I'm gonna stop being such a negative Nancy, like, god damn it, stop bitching all the time. Don't tell them what to do, by the way. Is that I kind of like you can turn your game off for this. That's why I've always liked these kind of RPGs. Is you can turn your brain off and just kind of focus on other things. Because I always play the Epic Battle Fantasy games while doing something else. These games never take my full attention. And I guess it would depend on what you value more. It's like, do you want your game to be a time waster? And if so, there you go, you've accomplished it. But if you want your game to be a game that actually sticks in your memory and is a joy to experience, then unfortunately that's not what you're going for. But I don't know. Yeah, no. It's still why it's still why 2 is, I think, my second favorite in the entire series. It's just because 2 was so good. 2 was fantastic. So simple, but it really, really min-maxed on this sensation that I adore in these games. A game I can just turn my brain off, enjoy on the side, and play for like 20 minutes. Perfect. That's how I play these games. And that's the kind of style he should be going for. Because if we try to actively play it like I've been throughout this playthrough, we start getting complaints like I've had. We start seeing the cracks in the armor and the veneer that this game has put forward. But if you play it idly, if you play it casually, if you just enjoy the ride, and don't take it too seriously, and like watch a video on the side, so that way all the more tedium doesn't get to you, this game's fine. But unfortunately, The one thing that is a good counter-argument to that point is the fact that most games honestly can of RPGs. So it's not really something you should specialize, unless it's a game like 2. It's not really something you should try to specialize in. It should just be a factor of the medium rather than a thing to go after intentionally. Because I just feel it makes it overall a weaker game. Because in all honesty, like as you said, IKEA, this game's burned in your memory. I can't say the same. I'm going to just construe this as 4-2. This is the same exact thing as 4, but again. Like, for me, this game has been, all my first impressions have been on camera. I've enjoyed the game just as I enjoyed 4, but I don't know, for how long we've waited just to get 4 again, it's okay. Bullet Heaven is good, though. That's a good one. I'm talking about this series. The Bullet Heaven, that's a bullet hell game. That's a completely different, experience. I played those two. I had a damn good time. I'm not the best at those kind of games, just because I'm honestly not the kind of person who really excels at those, but I enjoy them. I actually tried playing the Toho games once I got into Bullet Heaven. But I'm the kind of person who will play a game for 20 minutes at a time, 20, 30 minutes, maybe a couple hours if I'm playing with someone else or it's a game I'm going through. But typically I swap games repeatedly and I just do whatever strikes my fancy at the time, if I'm just trying to kill the time. And so I'm not very good at those kind of games that require a ridiculous amount of mechanical skill. You must become a master in order to really excel and experience it. That's why I've never been the biggest fan of some kind of roguelikes and those kind of games. Because a lot of those games are typically you're not making any progress is another breed. That's more of a different point. But a lot of those kind of games, typically well, maybe that's a bad example. You know what, maybe I won't tether roguelikes into this. This isn't the kind of comparison. But I've never been the kind, okay, I guess the point still stands of I've never been the biggest fan of games that require a ridiculous amount of technical mastery. I play fighting games more casually. And I'm never the kind of person who will sit down, study the combos, and do all that kind of stuff, unless it really engages me. If we're talking about a recent example, Smash Bros., I'll maybe look some stuff up just so I can kick the shit out of my friends easier. But I'm never going to play it enough to start playing online, take it super seriously, go to tournaments. It's why I don't think I'd be a very good speedrunner, you know? I just don't have that level of commitment because I get burned out when it comes to a game like that. And it's why I beat Bullet Heaven, and I enjoyed it. But I didn't beat it on some of the higher difficulties. I think I beat it on, hard, but I tried on some of the really high difficulties, and it didn't go fantastic all the time, really. I just don't have the, that's why I also never beat the Toho game I did play. It's just because that's the kind of game where you play for 20 minutes, die, try again. Play for 20 minutes, die, try again. Whereas Bullet Heaven, it was a mission structure, there was stuff to unlock, that kept me going. It's why it's, for me, I typically I need to be progressing in a game. I think that really comes down to it. This is why I actually personally have never been the biggest fan of roguelikes, is because I typically need to be progressing in a game. It's why I've never been the biggest fan of old arcadey games, where you just play through the game over and over and over again until you beat it, and then you beat it again, and you get a higher score or something. Now, I want to be achieving something. I want to really get something out of my time. It's why one of the few roguelikes I do enjoy, the few ones I do, are stuff like Slay the Spire, Unlocks and Ascensions, Binding of Isaac, Unlocks, Endings, Bosses, New Routes. Boom! That's how it's done. But now that I've beaten those games, I'll still, boot them up and play for, 15 minutes. But that's about it. I won't go, specifically... Oh, shit, I just dropped something. Just flung this fucking spinny bullshit across the room. But it's why I typically don't go out of my way and say, yeah, I'm going to keep playing this. I could never be someone like Northern Lion who just plays Binding of Isaac over and over and over and over again. Because I have not booted up Binding of Isaac in a hot minute. Whereas Slay the Spire, I just keep modding the fucking game and trying to get to Ascension 20 and all the modded characters. That keeps me going. I even did that for Binding of Isaac. I installed the damn mods. It didn't do as much for me on that one, though, because they just give it to you, you know? It's like, weirdly enough, like, despite what I'm saying and having picked the game up, I effectively did like the 1,000,000% completion bullshit on the Binding of Isaac. The only part of it I haven't actually done, which is why I haven't officially done it, are some of the booster pack items that they added require you to get the achievements, which for me, I actually had the mod installed previously of those items, so I don't care to go back in and just get them. And the rest of the stuff is like daily like challenges, and I just have I do not care about those. Those are the only things I have left to do in the Binding of Isaac, and other than that, I've 100% that game. I guess to boil it back, to wrap it back around to my initial point, this is why I like RPGs so much, because you're making a continuous effort. You're progressing. It's a wind sword. It is his best sword from what I've seen, just for like general combat. It is the Dragon's Feather. It gives him wind. We unleash gust while attacking, counterattacks, normal attack, all the stats are relevant. It gives him haste randomly. Best sword. Best sword. Doesn't matter. Good stats, ups evasion, best sword. Doesn't matter. If we're going for generalized combat like I do, the best sword. This is in one of the premium dungeons, I believe. I did not have this when I was fighting the final boss. I'll tell you that right now. I was in one of them. And same thing with No Legs' weapon right here. I got that by fighting, well, the actual premium final boss. This is that one. It's a big old star hammer. It's cool. As you can see by the stats, it's really fucking cool. So that's why I have it equipped, because it's just neat as shit, because I kicked that man's ass and now it's mine. I own it now. Okay. Well. Alright. That's why some of my favorite games, like I was saying, are RPGs. Like, a lot of my favorite games are typically, if I'm playing a game, I like to have two things. There are two criterias, and one or two of them need to be filled. It needs to be fun, or it needs to be an experience. These are the two things I need in a game. And if any of the two of them are met, it does not matter how good the rest of the game is, how good the music is, how good the graphics are, how good the gameplay is. Doesn't matter. Is it fun, or is it a good experience? If it's one of those two things, then I will be fine. And this game's decently fun, just because it is an RPG. Not because of what it is. But if we're talking about my favorite games of all time, they're games that hit both. They're a game to experience, because either they have a good story, they have a good narrative, or, alternatively, it could be something I'm nostalgic for, or something of that sort. My favorite game of all time is one of my favorite games to just play, and the story and the experience of the game is fantastic. It's Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube, or PS whatever, because it got re-released, yada yada yada. It's my damn favorite game of a long time, because it's really long, so it's got a shit ton of content. It's super fun to play, so these two compete and complete each other, where it's a lot of fun content. Bye-bye, IKEA. And then the experience, the story's good, the characters are good, the world's good, the lore's good. It's all a fun experience, and it's a game I'd recommend to anyone, or even if you don't like the gameplay or anything of that sort. The story and the characters are good, and that's why I enjoy it. What the fuck are you weak to? You're weak to Holy. Let me fuck adjust myself. Also, I'm doomed right now, but that's too damn bad right now. Trying to think of what else. Other ones of my favorite games of all time. Weirdly enough, my second favorite game of all time is more of a in between, where that one is, so it can be the two things to be my favorite game, or it can excel so hard in one regard that I'm like, alright, yes. Favorite game. Second favorite is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. That game is so much goddamn fun to play. I play that game, same with Symphonia, but I play that game all the way through pretty much every year. At least once. Every year, like clockwork. Same with Tales of Symphonia. In fact, I occasionally 100% the game over and over again. Even if I'm not achieving something new. Even if I'm not doing something. It's playing the game is fun. And I enjoy it. And that's what's important to me. I'm trying to think of some of my other favorite games, because really I only have it down to like top 3-ish. It's not like a... This is more of like a suggestion than like a concrete rules list, because I don't actually really have games listed in like top 10 favorite games. It doesn't work like that. I like games for different regards. I only have like my top 3 because both Symphonia and like Thousand Year Door I'm nostalgic for. But it's the kind of nostalgia I can go back and play the game and say like, yes, this is still amazing. Other ones I can think of some of my all-time favorite games are... a game for the PS2 called Rogue Galaxy. It was made by the dudes who made like the Dark Cloud series. That one's really good. Just because it's a decent experience, but that one's more so another really, really fun game to play. And that's just about it. It's not as fun. It's like not as short as Thousand Year Door, so I can't actively replay the game and all that fun stuff. Like, it doesn't have the same level of mastery, which is why I don't have it as high up. And we got, what other ones? Lisa the Painful. That game is like purely an experience, at least intentionally, but then the gameplay is, weirdly enough, some of the best I've ever had in an RPG. Like if we're talking just like this kind of RPG, like traditional, turn-based, and those are the mechanics. Like, there's no active battle, there's no like button inputs. If we're talking traditional, turn-based RPG, Lisa the Painful is my favorite game. God, that game is fantastic. But it also is an experience. Except that's the kind of experience that tears your heart out of your chest, holds it in front of you, and tells you, why are you crying? That kind of experience. And some people are into it like me. But the gameplay, it's like, that gameplay is so good. Like, I'm the kind of person who I'll play through that game with self-imposed challenge just to milk more out of the gameplay. Like when I streamed it. I made it so I played on the hardest difficulty. I think that was really about it. Like, traditionally, I played on the hardest difficulty, and then I added the self-imposed challenge of, hey, I'm gonna go look up a tier list, which is always like that. That's always like an iffy topic. Like, oh god, tier lists? Ugh. There's always debate. There's that you can never get away from something like that. But I just looked up a tier list and I'm like, hey, what are, and like I cross-referenced it and did some other like research, but I typically just said, hey, because in that game there are 30 party members, what are the weakest party members in that game? I'll try to use them throughout the entire game until they eventually die. And so that's what I did. And it was a really fucking fun time, because you typically used people you never would use through the traditional playthrough. So that was a really, like, good experience. I enjoyed that immensely. Just for no other reason than it gave me a new interpretation of the world and all that fun stuff with how hard the game became. Honestly, it wasn't as hard. Honestly, I could even, like, if I ever streamed the game, which I'm really tempted to, because I want to play through that game, it's just getting to that time, I'm like, oh yes, it's go time again. But if I went through that game again, it would be with the same general rule set, except this time I would also do one more thing to weaken my main. Like, without spoiling anything, there are some decisions you can make throughout the game that, depending on how you answer them, will weaken or strengthen your character throughout the game. Well, I guess more, like, less so strengthen, but it's like, effectively, I'm not going to go in any more detail. But I typically just took the strongest options throughout the game, mainly just because there was an achievement I haven't yet gotten, which is beating the game with your character at its like strongest potential or whatever, and that's the only reason I did it. If I had to play through it again, I would immediately gimp my character as much as humanly possible through like at least semi-traditional means and just try to fuck my world up. It would have been a grand time. I'm going to have a damn load of fun. I am so genuinely tempted to stream that once I'm done with this. Holy shit, Lisa the Painful is so fucking good. Yeah, baby. I cannot advocate for Lisa the Painful, but I can't, like, recommend it to just anyone because, as I said, it is a very actually serious game. That's the kind of game where it does delve into some serious topics. And it's effectively one of those games that's like, how far can a man go when pushed to his extremes? And I don't mean that as like a clickbait, like, oh man, like it's an edgy thing or some shit, because I know some fuckheads immediately go to that thought process. But I mean it genuinely as a, how far is a man who was abused, was addicted to drugs, how far can a man like that go? Who's been shit on his entire life, who has a second chance at redemption. How far is he willing to go just for that second chance? Even if it means getting that second chance would doom everyone. And then that's a good... I've always thought that was a good selling point. I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, oh god. This is another Anna fight. Oh, god damn it. Oh, I guess just poison him. He's a woolly mammoth. Man, I can't gush about Lisa enough. Oh, I talk about it so much, but oh, I love the Lisa games. Oh. It's like, if they're games I loved so much, I actively went out of my way and looked up fan games for it, just so I could get more of that baseline gameplay. And oh, that felt fantastic. That was one of those games where, yeah, I enjoyed it so much I went out of my way just to enjoy it more by looking up, like, fan games and all that fun stuff. And I took it so far and actually got astounded that one of the fan games I played, Lisa, I think it's Lisa the Pointless. God damn. That's a much shorter, much more linear experience, but the experience is still just so good. It's the exact opposite kind of it. Where Lisa the Painful is a sprawling world with a bunch of options and like party members, and it's rather long and open worlded, and you gotta try to find your way to the solution. Lisa the Painful is very linear. You have your set party, like in a game like Epic Battle Fantasy. You have your party, survive, get to the end, get stronger, see what's there, and enjoy the ride. And it's like a fourth shorter, like 1/4 the general length of Lisa the Painful, but at the same time, I love it for that too, because that game has multiple endings, incentivizing replayability. It's just like, oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. And that game arguably has an even better story for some people. Holy shit, is that story so good. Then again, I value story in a game very, very highly, personally. It's one of the tippy-top things you can get from me in a game. Character development and story. Boom. That's what I'm talking about when I say a game can be an experience more than a game. Because games inherently are an art form. And while enjoying the game for being a game is one way to enjoy it, sometimes it's telling a story. You're getting something out there. And for me, that can be enough for me to enjoy a game. It's why there's some games that... It's like why a game like a visual novel or story-based games can be games while still having almost no gameplay. You know what I'm saying? But there's always a fine line is when is it just a book with visuals and music and all that fun stuff. But, you know. A game like Lisa does it absolutely perfectly. It right gets on that line where it's a story. It's like reading a book. Except it's a book you can play. Oh. Someone stop me now or else I won't stop talking about it. So maybe now I'll finally shut my mouth about a different game. Yeah, and I wrap my brain back around to this game. Let's find out. What are we going up against? Squids? Slimes? Okay. Okay, my back. Holy shit, does it hurt right now? We're just gonna recline. Yeah. Oh, so much better. How's it going, IKEA? You missed an entire, 15-minute long rant about me talking about Lisa the Painful for pretty much almost since you left to, not even 30 seconds ago. I've been talking about Lisa the Painful and how that is one of the best games in existence. In fact, just before you get back, I'm like, alright, someone stop me now, or else I'm never gonna stop talking about it, and I had to wrap my mind back around to this game. Oh, and also I sat back, just now, because my back is fucking killing me right now. Don't have back problems, kids. I wouldn't recommend it. Also, I don't know if it's picking up. Don't have a squeaky chair. Don't have a not rocking chair and try to rock in said chair. Can you stop making every single member of my team hungry? Thanks. In fact, let's just one up that. Don't have any medical issues, kids. It's not a good idea. Specifically, don't have back problems. I would not recommend this for anyone. It makes living a fun experience. It's like, oh shit, I sat wrong. Well, time to sit back for the next 4 hours until I'm no longer broken. Oops. Wonder how that happened. Alright, fucking get it. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're 2/3 of the way done. And yeah, this has taken an hour. This has taken us an hour to get this far. Currently on New Game Plus 24. Jesus Christ, dude. You wanna tone that one back just a little bit? I mean, I can understand liking a game, but oh my god, there is a point, there's a line to cross, and we have clearly crossed it a long-ass time ago. I suppose I can't really fault you for it at the end of the day either, because, oh, you bet your ass there are some games I've done that on, but I don't know. I just don't have despite how nostalgic and how much I adore these games, oh my god, I fucking love these games. That's a lot of that is nostalgia goggles and respect for the man who made them. Oh god, I'm being negative again, son of a bitch. I just don't see those games in that high of a regard. But then again, I do hold them in a high enough regard to look past their flaws and say, you bet your ass I'm gonna buy if there's ever gonna be a next one. Oh, there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I still do enjoy this game. But oh god, plus 24. Holy shit. This ain't like Disgaea or some shit that you don't just keep looping and getting stronger. Oh god. Creaky chair. I guess again, I can't really say that because me and Tails if we're talking about a single player game that you have put an ungodly amount of hours into, for me that is Tales of Symphonia. I have had to have put more than 1,000 hours over the course of my life into that one game. That one game. That is a landscape-changing amount of time. And how much of an impact that's had on my life. I'm a damn big fan of the other Tales of games, but they just changed just enough for me to not like them nearly as much, and oh, that's incredibly disappointing. But whatever. I can never sing the praises of a game like Tales of Symphonia enough. That's the kind of game where it was so big, it was way back on the GameCube. That was one of the very, very few 2-disc games. There were 2 of them. It was such a big game, one GameCube disc couldn't hold it, so they just alright, fuck it, put it on the second disc. That was one of the, and it was such a long game. That game had easily like 60 to 70 hours of content just on a normal playthrough. Not even counting like completionist stuff. Like if you're talking completionist, that's like another like 100 hours, like easily. If we're talking about just like getting everything in the one playthrough instead of being like 100% completionist, like doing side quests, bonus content, that's another 10-15 hours. Oh, that game's so good. The game is also an experience too. Story's amazing, characters are amazing. The world, the lore, all of it's so good, and the gameplay is amazing. It's super long. There's a ridiculous amount of content for all you completionist animals out there, like me. I typically don't 100% a game I don't feel particularly passionate about. What was I gonna say? Oh, your fucking No Man's Land tank thing you just completely took much. It was Tales of Symphonia something. Long ass time. Lots of replay. Oh, yeah. I don't typically 100% games I don't feel particularly passionate about. If that's anything, take that as a true vote of confidence for how much I enjoy this game. I've 100%ed it. That's how much I actually do enjoy this game. Despite everything I've had to say about it, the truth does not lie. But like games that I truly enjoy, I'll 100%. But a game like Tales of Symphonia is a game that has like 60 to 70 hours of content, and to get 100% in that game, you need to beat the game. Assuming you don't do like either cheats or alternatively resetting the game. Okay, there's one cheap way to lower it down to one less completion, but you need to beat the game 5 times. And that's assuming you use a walkthrough for every single aspect. I'm, of course, talking about like the PS3 re-release Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, yada yada. Because the original one only requires you beating the game 3 times, or actually maybe only 2. Well, no, 3 times. But yeah. Jesus. You have an assload of time in this now, don't you? I can tell right now, this is going to be one of those games I'm going to 100% and probably not touch too much more. Like I have experienced this game, but this gameplay is not enthralling and the experience isn't engaging enough for me to say, yes, this is a game I'll come back to. But I would definitely put this above average. I'd definitely say this game is like I'd say around a 6 out of 10. If I had to give this game a definitive number, I'd say a solid 6 out of 10. Above average, but not like fantastic. I would definitely advertise and recommend this game though. But then again, my opinion is skewered. I would also put like Sonic R as like a 6 out of 10, because holy shit, I love that game. I am, of course, an animal when it comes to the games that I like. People shouldn't trust my opinions on things too much. The example I always use is the fact that I am the man who is 100% Sonic R twice in a row. I beat that game 100% and said fuck it and did it again. I have not streamed Bullet Heaven, but here. I got a good 19 hours into that. I already beat the game. I just haven't done like the crazy difficult shit yet. But it's there. If you want me to stream it, I'm down. It may have to be in the mornings, though. Afternoons are going to be, well, yeah, I suppose I could just stream it whenever. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's gonna have to be after this, though. I like to keep my afternoons concise. I like to keep them consistent. Because these go up on YouTube, so I like to have that, like, that uploading schedule. The mornings are typically where I'm like a variety streamer. And the afternoons, which is eventually going to be swapped around. Like, once I'm done, actually, yeah. Once I'm done with this game in particular, the afternoons are going to be for me to stream whatever the fuck I want or whatever people request. And the mornings are going to be these long con games, like where I do a full playthrough and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to swap it around and start putting my, like, variety fun times in the afternoon. And that shit, because, yeah. So once I'm done with this, I'll definitely hit up Bullet Heaven 2 if you want to see. Technically, I can do whatever the fuck I want. That's the beauty of changing your own schedule. Schedule. It's pretty good, honestly. I'd like it. I like the final boss of that game. Bullet Heaven 2's final boss is the best, and I love it, and it's just a great time. Okay, they're surrendering. Buff the evasion. Hi. Bullet Heaven 2 is the kind of game where there's no, like, qualms about it. Like, that's the kind of game that knows what it is. It's a Bullet Heaven. You dick around and you have fun with it. I don't have any really big complaints for Bullet Heaven 2 where I do for this. My complaints for this game come from a place of passion and love. Whereas with Bullet Heaven 2, I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good game. I like it. And then that's all I really got to say about it. Like, I'm not a man who knows bullet hells. That's not my area of expertise. For me, that is RPGs. That is my expertise. That is where I have like a PhD in being a huge nerd. And RPGs, I suppose. To be fair, like, every single game I've ever done as a long con playthrough, with the exception of Terraria, has been an RPG. Every single one. And I love them. And I will probably never change, because do I love this shit. That shit's like fucking crack for me. The only problem is that it's not really great for building an audience. That's why I gotta swap it around. I gotta go to those more active times and start playing more. Fucking anything, really. Not everyone wants to see some rando stream Persona 1. Yeah, that happened. And that is also my least popular playthrough for obvious reasons. Persona 1's the only game I have genuinely disliked that I've streamed. Persona 1 is such an antiquated, bungled up mess, and despite the fact dude, I'm nostalgic for Persona 1. And that's one of those games where the experience is the great part of the game. The gameplay is garbage in Persona 1. But it's the experience. And that's why I like Persona 1. But God, the fucking gameplay in that game. God, the fucking ass. Holy shit. As a fan of the Persona series, Jesus. I'd not recommend it. It was a good learning experience. That was also the only playthrough I've actually done that hasn't been some shitty self-imposed challenge or me playing on the hardest difficulty. That was a, hey, let's play through Persona 1 because I remember this game being kind of shitty, but I kind of want to just do it because I have it right here. And then I did it. And it was a massive mistake. I have made a grievous error because no one watched it. Oopsie daisy. That fucking... You damn ice cream son of a bitch. Get out of here. I think my favorite playthrough I've personally done... it's probably gotta be one of the Lisa games if I'm still gushing about that. Or, actually, it could be Paper Mario Pro Mode. That's another one of the ones that I had like an ungodly amount of fun with. Just because it's Paper Mario, but they made it super hard. Oh, yeah! Dude, it gave me like some actual like mechanical challenge on top of the fact that it's Paper Mario 1 and is one of the best games in existence. And oh, it's a masterpiece. Baby. Let's go. That shit's a 10 out of 10. I can highly recommend that to anyone who ever. Hey, are you a fan of the Paper Mario games? Go out and get yourself Paper Mario Pro Mode. It's like an emulated mod. It's a mod for Paper Mario 1 that just makes the game really, really hard, but in like a legitimate manner. I mean, the almost obvious thing they do is they double every single instance of damage that you take, which is like the obvious one. But that's the only kind of game that really makes sense. I mean, that's not the only thing they do. That's like the first step. But that's the kind of game where that makes sense. Because in that game, if you block, you take 2 less damage instead of 1 less damage, meaning mechanical skill is rewarded for the fact that you block more as well as take more. So mechanical skill is rewarded, as well as the fact that that game is so piss easy initially that, honestly, who cares? Who cares if the enemies hit harder? That's the only way to make the game actually hard. But that's the kind of thing where they put in new enemy configurations, new enemies, new moves on old enemies, all of that good shit that you love to see when it comes to an expansion on something you love. For me, that is where my money wants to go. I so want to stream Thousand Year Door, but unfortunately I have no way of capturing GameCube footage, which is really just a damn shame in all honesty, but oh well. I also wish there was a pro mode. Holy shit. That would be another one. I don't know what's up with me in trying to make all of my games that I play something unique. I gotta play on the hardest difficulty, or I gotta play with some kind of unique self-imposed challenge, or I gotta play with some kind of a mod, or ROM hack, or whatever, some kind of shitsy fucking garbage. Scoot your ass. There we go. I guess it makes the games more fun, I suppose. It's like, we're talking, okay, you know what? Just now that I think about it, because I just saw your message of Bullet Heaven 2 again, and I just remembered I actually do have something to say about that. Weirdly enough, despite the fact that No Legs overall has been my least favorite character in this game, at least, I mean, that's only for the fact that he was the worst early game character. Now that we're this far into the game, everyone's fine. There's no problems with anyone. But No Legs was my least favorite character in this game because, God, his early game's so ass. No Legs is the one character I pretty much never played anyone else in Bullet Heaven 2. He's one of the like starting really cheap basic characters that's like, oh, but then you like unlock other characters and like gear and all that kind of garbage and you'd like branch out. No, I just kind of stuck with No Legs. And I'm just like, fuck, I mean, why would I change what works? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he's the best. He is my favorite in that game. Mainly because his whole shtick is he is the fastest character in the entire game. And I liked the ability to move and dodge more successfully. Because I figured that would be the most important aspect to a bullet hell game, is the ability to dodge the most efficiently. Or he did some of the least damage, but if I never died, I'll never lose. My standard go-to criteria for victory is, well, of course, that one. Alright, fucker, get out of here. Alright, we only got 5 more waves. We're an hour and 23 minutes in. I knew this was gonna take fucking forever. I knew it. Don't let anyone tell you I didn't. I knew this was gonna take forever. I guess actually now that I think about it, because I haven't brought it up in a while, if there's some kind of good news, it's a really fantastic segue. I'm not sick anymore. My throat's just kind of better. I mean, I occasionally will cough, but that's like once in a very long while. So I'm like 99% better from the sickness I've been having, which is nice. It's always good to hear good news, which is why I felt like chiming that in, letting people know, you know? Even if it's not directly relevant to you, it's always just nice every once in a while to hear some kind of good news. Well, it's a little pick-me-up, you know? Not everything needs to be world-shattering. Not everything needs to be like a, hey, here's $1 million. Sometimes a little bit like, hey, man, this person's not sick anymore. I'm like, yeah, all right, that's cool. Or, hey, man, I hope you have a good day. There you go. Everyone needs a little bit of a confidence boost. A little bit of a pick-me-up to get you through the day, you know? Alright, and then on that note, go fuck yourself, you stupid sandstone boulder son of a bitch. Go die in a fire. That's what I thought, you bitch. And then just like that, some people need a good kick in the teeth. Just like that sandstone boulder. He needed a good kick in the teeth. Alright, what the fuck are you doing? You weak to ice? Oh shit, son, you've made a huge mistake. Okay, well, I mean, you would have made a huge mistake. Assuming that the game was a good video game and actually worked properly, goddammit. Alright, Natalie, you're garbage. Get the fuck out of here. Also, look at the bear duo. And watch them burn. Okay, well, watch them burn, but later. God damn it. Why is everything... This is why wind is the worst element in this entire game. Everything resists wind, and there are so few things that are actually weak to wind. When they do show up, wind is then, again, also such an awkward element to actually get your hands on. I guess this is why this isn't actually the best sword in the game. It's a balancing act. You see, he's been playing the long con. He specifically went out of his way to make wind kind of garbage, so that way he puts the best stats on the worst weapon. I'm on to you, you stupid son of a bitch. I got my eyes on you. I got locked on. I know your games. I know your play. I know the ploy you're trying to pull. You're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the masses, but I am too smart for you. And your wind shenanigans, you're trying to just besmirch the good name of the wind element, huh? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. In all honesty, I typically, am not the biggest wind person either. Like, if there's ever an element in games that wind is ever actually a part of, it's typically one of the more boring ones. Even if it is one of the 4 primary elements, it's just like, fuck that shit, man. Wind's garbage. Who the fuck wants wind? Nah, man, wind's trash. And I know I'm just spreading this game's message of anti-wind propaganda, but honestly, they kind of got a point. Wind's garbage. Give me ice. I said, give me that shit every day. Oh, yeah. That's how you know you got the good shit. That's that quality stuff you want to see. That's ice. Followed up closely by water, because typically a lot of the time there isn't actually, ice in some games, so then I'll, pick the next best thing of, water, but, you know. You see that right there? That's why you do ice. The slowing mechanics, you got freezing mechanics, ice is typically pretty defensive, and then water is usually a healing element in a lot of games. Oh yeah. That's how it's done. That's why you gotta be smart with what you pick. You don't just pick it just for the sake of picking it. You gotta think about, alright, how is this gonna interact with other things? Ice is naturally tanky, it's got lots of CC, typically, depending on the game, game to game. And then water's typically the healing element. And so those two things tacked together are typically why ice is my favorite also, because it's just cool as shit and I like it and I will fight anyone to the death otherwise. Unless you're Pokemon. For some reason, ice is actually the worst type in that entire game. And I'm more confused by that statement than anything. But why though? Why is ice the worst? Why have you done this to me, Pokemon? Welcome to ice. Here's what ice resists. Ice. And that's it. Alright, good job. You've sure done it. Ice's resistance is to itself. So if something is ever dual typed, if it's a dragon ice or some kind of bullshit fucking Pokemon terminology. If there's ever that kind of garbage, congratulations. You had a perfectly capable dragon type that is now being gimped by ice type being weak to 4 things. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy yourself. Great. It sure makes me feel good about myself when my decisions are just spat right back in my fucking face. How dare I have a personal preference of element, eh? Shoot the dragon in the face. Take my rage out on him. in a very bodily fashion. Very gruesome. You know? And shoot him with a darkness gun. And then shoot him with a water sword. It's not even a water gun, it's a water sword. 4 more waves. You know the last wave's gonna be some kind of shitsy fucking garbage. They're gonna do like what they did in Epic Battle Fantasy 4 and have it be like a gimmick. I'm like, alright, you know what? I respect it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like the last like 2 waves, like the 2 waves before it, because the last wave's typically like a joke, but then like wave 31 and 32 are gonna be like, here's 5 dragons. Unless it's Epic Battle Fantasy 4 did exactly that. They put like all 5 dragons in the same fight, and they're the tankiest enemy in the game, and it made me want to die. At least in this game, certain enemies can take up 2 spaces or some such. I know there's the whole gimmick with making enemies bigger and yada yada yada. I'm trying to think about what enemy we haven't actually fought yet. Like, there's too many recolors of enemies, so I don't actually know off the top of my head, you know? Just like, what haven't we fought? I don't know. It's been too long. I haven't paid enough attention. Like, maybe a bear, but I'm pretty sure I know I've killed all the mammoths. We've killed the Cosmic Monolith. That was in the first wave, so I know that's done. I'm like, well, what's there left to do? Alright, whatever you say there, crazy game. There's probably, like, maybe 1 more dragon, probably. There's, I don't think there's a bear. Shit, what are some other just fucking, like, normal tanky-ass enemies? I don't really know off the top of my head. Whatever, then. Whatever you say, man, Mr. Man. If you telling me that, there's still more enemies to fight, I'll take your word for it, but I don't believe it. I won't believe your more enemy propaganda. You're trying to blind me to truth. I want to get out of here, because we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes of just doing fights. You know, I haven't said anything about it, but thank you so fucking much for being here, IKEA. I'd want to pull my damned hair out were you not here. You are a massive springboard for motivation for me. You keep me talking, and you give me things to talk about. And you're a saint. I would, in fact, have your babies. It's not a request either. I'm going to have your babies. This is not a... Yes. Yes, this is a threat, by the way. You have been warned. You shouldn't accidentally press the D. That's how pregnancies get started. You see, that's why I'm having your baby. You keep accidentally pressing the D, and this shit happens. You see, this is... I'm such a jackass. Do not press the D. It's too much power. One man cannot stop healing the damn drowned fallen. God damn it. We're so close. We are oh so very close. In fact, right on the threshold to victory. There's more glitchy dudes. I mean, alright, you know what? I can actually say I did not think I had fought all the glitchy dudes. But other than that, like, the fucking, like, Stumpy Gloop, like, I would not have thought about any of these enemies, because they're so generic. Like, how many of these enemies actually springboard out of my brain? None of them. Because there's a Rock Man, a Stump Man, a Leaf Man, a Glitch Man, a Man. There's a lot of man going along, is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's the point I'm trying to get across. And you may be saying, where am I going with all this? What do you mean, what point? Answer, I don't know. I'm just talking, and things happen. I kind of just went off with the man thing, and so now there's apparently a very large amount of men in this fight. I hope to kill them all. Please die. Oh, that works. All right, 2 more. Oh no, not these things. I could have swore I fought the mutant chomper. It was the fucking, like, molten chomper. Golly, G Willikers, Batman. I wanna die. No, I will not sit up. You cannot contain me. Just 2 more waves. Just 2 more. This is gonna be a fucking Anna fight. Not to mention because Lance is also stunned. This is an Anna fight. We gotta stun that mutant Champa to death because he heals every time you hit him. And that's unacceptable. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. Not happening. Incorrect answer. You get stunned, good sir. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy your stay. Get the fuck out. Thank you. Got a dragon fruit. That's fun. That's a big boy single target heal, except I don't need it. Hello. Hi. And please go die. Yeah, exactly. You see, you get it. Hey. Doesn't really make me feel good, considering the half of this video has been me waxing bullshit philosophical, which effectively boils down to me bitching, and the other half is me talking about other games. And then, like, there's that, like, 0.1% of, like, me just going, like, oh, God, I hate everything. It's not the most enthralling time. But here we are. We enjoy ourselves around here. We like to have a fun time around here. Worry not, for this wave shall end in a moment's notice. Of, like, about right now, just about. Oh, Jesus. Now, that was a demon noise. If you ever wanted to know, was that, like, if you ever ask yourself the question, is that a demon noise? Just listen to that and tell me that yes is the answer. That is, in fact, a demon noise. I have not had to use one over limit, one item, or one summon this entire fight on the hardest difficulty. If that's not a testament to how fucking easy this game is, holy shit. Oh my god. Alright, it's time for you to die. I mean, I'm gonna bust out the over limits on the final wave, like the wave or two. It's just because at that point it's free. There's no reason not to. But, like, oh no, I may want to save him for the boss. Oh, fuck the boss. He can eat a dick. The boss is, actually. There are many coming up. There we are. See, like that? You see that right there? That's the kind of murder we like to hear about around here. What have we got? Yeah, I knew there was another dragon. I knew it. It's the Omega Dragon. AKA the I don't know what element this is .dragon. He looks like a kung fu man with that mustache. A mustachio. Oh, I don't know why I would like try doing like an Italian thing into like French, like on han. It's the Omega go eat a dick. That's not an element. It's fire, I guess. Okay, wow. It's fire and holy. This is what we call a fat load of shit. This isn't an elemental dragon. This is an elemental lie. You're right to my face, in fact. This is an elemental load of garbage, is what this is. Get poisoned. Alright, now we must focus the stupid-ass wraiths, because the dragon will die when he dies. Dragon's kind of doing his own thing right now, being, like, ungodly poison. I gotta say, if there's one thing I actually like that's a positive, this Monster Marathon's a lot better than the 1 and 4, because at least you're getting a lot of really unique, like, varieties of enemy, where in 4 they just shoved all the kinds of enemies together. Like, here's every dragon. Here's every single, like, golem. Here's every monolith. I gotta say, I would do, like, one other thing. They actually made monoliths a genuine threat again, where in 4, you could cripple those sons of bitches. So, because, I mean, the whole gimmick has been, oh, you siphon them and they die. Good. That's, like, the whole, like, point. You need to do that. But they, like, tuned it so far back. Like, that was the only way to counter them in 1 through 3. I don't even know if they were in 1, now that I think about it. But that was the only way to really, like, stop them in the other games, and there was, like, no other really good option. But, like, even then, they were still a really big threat, because Siphon didn't always work, and, you know, there was always that bit of risk. But in 4, they're just like, okay, I did it Siphon up. Good thing it doesn't matter. You just kill them in, like, 2 turns. It's like, oh, okay. At least now they have, like, a siphoned attack, even if it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for anything other than the, like, the cosmic monoliths to be doing that, because it's like the attack that makes sense for them to do. But you know, whatever. I can suspend my disbelief and enjoy the ride for once, because it's a good decision. As much as it hurts me to say that, I don't know, man. I like the consistency. I like the fact that Cosmic Monoliths actually had a unique thing. Now, Cosmic Monoliths are just every other monolith now. It takes away from their identity, which honestly is a bit bigger of a sin considering the final boss is a fucking monolith. Look at that big son of a bitch. That's not as good. It's not as good as the other one, where the other one was like a wooden golem. Like a wooden idol. I actually remember someone clipped a thing of me going through that in 4. Because I said, oh, Natalie's not gonna die now. And the wooden idol one-hits Natalie just on that exact turn after I buffed her evasion. It's like, well, go fuck myself then. I like that thing. I can understand the joke of, oh, it's the enemy that could heal you. But I like the fact that it's just like one really, really basic enemy that just fucks, you know? There's something satisfying about that. Even if it is not like a threat, it's satisfying to get to the end and have this one like really, really basic enemy that's just a god. But it doesn't have like any AoE or anything, so it's not like actually a fight, you know? Oh shit, I need to tired him. No, damn it, I don't... God damn it. I guess I'll weaken it, because it's a freebie. No, not even enough. Okay. I guess we're just gonna wait to hit this thing, then. Fantastic. Get him with that. Oh shit, it worked. Damn. Nice. Well, now we win. Yeah, now it's just this is just a long con. So anyway, that's the stream. We're done. Yeah, that's like the only thing about this thing is his evasion. This dude's evasion is higher than fucking gods. You know? That's the level of degeneracy we're at right now. But yeah. And just like that, we're done for today. It took me an hour and 43 minutes. Actually, we're not done yet. Let's just say an hour and 44 minutes to beat... Okay, no, 43, because it ended before. I'm pretty sure this is the same victory, like, song all the way back from Epic Battle Fantasy 3, and I really like that they've kept this around. This is a super nostalgic song for me. Like, when I click back out of this, I expect to go back to, like, the forest of Epic Battle Fantasy 3, like that song. Because that's what I remembered this from, because when I played 3 as a kid. 3 was the one that was the final one before I, like, matured and then came back later. I just want to sit here and enjoy the ride. Because this is the song of satisfaction and triumph, for we have finally succeeded. Oh, shit. Free chest. And it's not even anything exciting. I'm still missing bits and pieces in this damn menu. 1 sword, 2 staves, no guns, 2 bows, 1 toy, 2 hats, 1 armor. 2 hats, 1 armor, and then a handful of flares. I know they're still coming in. Like, actually, before we end this off, there is this right here. The red envelope. Probably contains money, but you might need it for quests. It's best not to open it. Because he just said on the 18th, there's going to be a quest that activates, because it's the Chinese New Year, and that's when that's going to activate. Supposedly, it's going to contain a new skill, as well as maybe some new gear. I just only want to know if there's actually genuinely... Oh, like the Christmas lady's gone. If there's genuinely something I've missed, or if the rest of this stuff is just not implemented yet. Because there was that flare I've missed. But I guess, you know what? I guess now would probably be the time for me to look into these things. Like, really. Because at this point, like, I'm never going to get a chance to get it from this point forward. So, I don't know, you know? Also, can we talk about the fact that this poisons, but then heals? This effectively is infinite regen on Lance. Can we talk about how good this gun is if you get it to max rank? I've never looked at this before, because it's like a premium weapon, I think. God damn, does this make poison regeneration strategies viable? Because you just equip this bad boy on him, and all of a sudden now he's healing off of poison. You have your 2 other party members be able to either be resistant or absorb poison themselves, and you effectively get infinite regen because it can apply virus. Oh yeah, baby. That's what we like to see. I'm so upset I actually had to use these damn chili peppers. Oh. Okay, there's an Easter egg. That means that there's, like, Easter is one of these, like, seasonal events. Well, I still don't have them, and, well, whatever then. It's not really important. Next time, we do the mini-boss rush. Actually, we may tack 2 of them together, depending on how fast it is. If the mini-boss rush is, like, 30 minutes, then I'll just do the boss rush alongside it, but... we still have the mega boss, and, we have a bit of a ways more to go. Also, if you didn't see IKEA in that newest patch, just because I only just now remembered, they nerfed the fucking Viking monolith. It costs 100 now instead of 95. It's such a minor change, but they did change it, and I'm just like, damn. Holy shit, they nerfed him. How could they do this to my baby? You sons of bitches. Either way, my throat's starting to hurt. It's been a while since I've talked for this long, since my throat is recovered, and it's still just the tiniest bit sick, so talking for this long does get a little bit old. Wait a minute. I actually completely forgot I had that summon. I forgot I caught him. Let's end this off on a high note, shall we? On an extra high note. Yeah, it's night, but one final thing. I just, like, looked at my summons because of the damn bike thing, but what are you gonna do? Is this just gonna be the drive-by, or is it like the hyper beam? Hello? Oh, God. Okay. Oh, we're doing... oh, you just double tap that. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's satisfying. That's pretty good. Alright, that's a good... that is what made this worth it. There was something to pay off at the end. Oh, anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, or night, I suppose. And, peace.